Peace and Yah bless. Yah is the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. What you're seeing in front of you in this video is a plan, I guess somebody been listening to us, right? For maybe a city of the future and how it should look. Basically, city that has no cars in it. Now it has transportation, but it doesn't have cars. So whoever came up with this, very well done. I mean, it's a nice plan. Probably needs some, some tweaking, here and there, but overall it's a nice plan. A very nice design. Because the cities of the future will certainly not have probably as many cars for transportation as we move into the future. Okay? But this is very nice. Very good plan. All right? So look that up on the internet when you guys get a chance. All right? But very, very, very extremely good. We already know by the book of Zechariah that in the future, Jerusalem will not have cars, okay, as it does today. All right? And whoever came up with the presentation of the video, whatever, I thought that was an excellent job. I mean, that looked like a pretty good plan. Like I said, a lot of these things will have to be set in place when we get to the land, okay? The only thing we can do for right now is just, we can, go through and look at these things out of this book of remembrance, and we can plan it like that. But that's as far as it, we can go with it for right now. We'll have to set up different outstanding team members and things like that to facilitate and bring these visions to pass whenever we get back home, okay, to the land today that they call Jerusalem, okay? But we know in the future it's not going to be called Jerusalem anymore, okay? So that's why we keep telling Esau there's no need to keep leaning on that Jerusalem name. There's no need to keep leaning on it's the capital of the Jews, okay? There's no need to keep leaning on that, because that's not the future, as you all can see as we read out this book of remembrance on what is going to happen in the future concerning the land of Israel. Neither is anything that they came up with so far, okay, gonna have any bearing on what's going to be happening in the land during the fifth kingdom. Now, I showed you guys the oblation. Naturally, I'll show you again. This is the first thing that's going to be established when we get there. Okay? It's called the Holy Oblation. It's 25,000 reeds by 25,000 reeds. Okay? That's the the dimensions, the width and length of this square of property. That'll be the first thing established when we get there. So before we give any property to the tribes, this will be established first, okay? The dimensions, width and length. And then within this square, there are different districts, okay? There's a district for the temple, housing for the Levites, the brand new city, guys, there, kind of what you just saw in the video right on the presentation. And then crops and produce fields on the sides, which will provide food for the city. It will also provide, obviously resources for us to, obviously generate capital for the brand new entity that we've talked about a great many times. All right, so let's go to the book. Zechariah 9, chapter 9, right? Rejoice, O greatly, daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem, behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon a donkey, right? And upon a colt, the foal of a donkey, all right? So people will say, well, why is he coming on a donkey? Because a donkey is it's kind of a lowly and peaceful sort of a creature. That's the purpose of coming in on the donkey, okay? Remember, everything's symbolism, that Yah does. Yah does a lot of symbolism too, throughout this book of remembrance too, all right? That's why things are set a certain way and numbers are set a certain way, if you can, actually read the code. All right, verse number 10 from the presentation that we just showed you all with the carless city, right? This is what we're talking about. And I will cut off the chariot. You hear that? The chariot from Ephraim. That's the northern tribes, right? And the horse from Jerusalem, okay? Now, the horse, literal horses, right? Naturally, right? And also horsepower, cars. When they cut off, that stuff's not going to be there anymore, for people to use as means for transportation. Also, and the battle bow shall be cut off, all right? And he shall speak peace unto the heathen, talking about the anointed leader. He's going to speak peace unto the heathen. And his dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. That will be the reach of the Messiah. Okay? From sea to sea, even to the ends of the earth. So worldwide rulership, okay, is what the seed of David is given. He's given that because Yah has chosen him the same way he chose his progenitors, his fathers before him. I'm talking about King David, King Solomon, so on and so forth. Okay? So he's given dominion. Okay? He's given dominion. Notice it says he is given dominion. Okay? And he shall speak peace to the heathen. Okay? Simple as that. Don't say anything about a woman or any of that kind of stuff. We've heard these plans, but their plans are just futile plans. Okay? Because the anointed Messiah, he himself is the one who's going to bring about a lot of these things. This carless city. That presentation that I just showed you. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Okay? Because it's not going to be, smog and stuff like that you see, most cars generate, right? Coming out of those, tailpipes, right? Where the muffler's located. This is not going to be polluted. Why? Because the temple of the Most High is there. That's why. Okay? And when the Most High comes to his temple, right? We can't have this area defiled by anything. Okay? Dealing with pollution, dealing with cars and horsepower, real horses, animals, anything like that. Okay? So within this structure right here in particular, you're not going to see animals, stuff like that, okay? Because whether they defecate, anywhere and everywhere, right? Okay, so you're not going to have that in the Holy District, and you're not going to have all kinds of things that create, pollution, like, motor vehicles of any kind like that. So that's what the presentation was all about earlier, dealing with that carless city of the future for whoever designed the presentation. It was well made, and the vision on it was pretty good too, as far as how it would, how it would definitely be like in a circle, because you can see the cities right here. Okay, all right. So it's in this square right here, and it's got 12 gates that surround it. So they're pretty close on the presentation. Like I said, tweak a few things. I think it's a usable design. But the future is going to be a great future. I keep telling you guys that in Jerusalem. Even though everything seems a little bleak right now, seems like, the world's coming to an end. Believe me, it's not. Okay? All right? It's not coming to an end. Okay? Remember, the world is forever, right? That's Isaiah, right? The world's never going to be destroyed because it's Yah's creation. Why would he destroy it? Okay? If that was the case, he could have destroyed mankind back at the flood, Noah. He could have ended it all right there, right? But he didn't. He had mercy upon mankind, working through Noah. I'm talking about the story of Noah's Ark that you all heard about probably when you were children, right? Okay. That was a real event, and it did take place. All right? So, this capital, this brand new capital city, okay, it's prophesied in the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 33. So, go there in your Bible. Okay? Jeremiah chapter number 33. All right? And let's start at verse number 14. Okay? It says, behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will perform the good thing which I promised unto the, now listen, unto the house of Israel and, keyword, and, to the house of Judah. Okay? So we keep trying to get across to Esau. There's no one faction that's supposed to be in Israel, and that's it, that calls themselves the Jews. There's no such thing as that. No one people. Notice there's two different factions here. So when you know biblical history, you know and understand that. After King Solomon's death, what happened? Split up. Okay, into two factions. One faction called the house of Israel, that you read right here, right, the northern tribes. And another faction called the house of Judah, which represented the southern tribes. Okay? All right. But we know by the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, that Yah is going to put us back together again into one state, one people, okay? One country with 12 separate tribes, but he's going to put us back together as one people in his hand, okay? Ezekiel 37. Go read that whole entire chapter, okay? So, verse 15. In those days and at that time, will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. Okay? Now it says, he shall. Okay? All right then. So, David's progenitor, okay? The anointed leader. That's what it's talking about right here. This takes you right back over to Zechariah 9. Same thing. Okay? The seed of David comes into the land, and he executes judgment, keyword, judgment and righteousness in the land. Okay? That's the key to that. Judgment and righteousness. Okay? Verse 16. In those days shall Judah be saved, right? And Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she, notice it says she, talking about the city of Jerusalem, shall be called Yah our righteousness. Okay? So Jerusalem's not always going to be remembered as being called Jerusalem. In the future, it's going to be called Yah our righteousness. Okay? All right? Now we've been over this several times. So we're going over it again for you guys. So you guys can get some good understanding about what's going to be happening in the future, okay, concerning this so-called, what they call today, the state of Israel, okay? Called the state of Israel, but it's not going to be called any of that stuff in the future, okay? Because Israel is actually a people. It's not a state, okay? Hebrew Israelites, okay? All right? The name of that land was always called either Canaan at the very beginning and then Palestine. Those are the only two biblical names of that area, okay? That some will call the Levant, okay? Called the Levant too. All right? It's called that at some point. But the city itself right here, you're seeing right here, this brand new city, it will have a brand new name also whenever it's erected and built. But once we touch the ground in Jerusalem, okay, it's going to be called Yah our righteousness. We're not going to lean on Jerusalem no more. We're not going to lean on our old history, because Jerusalem has a lot of bloody history, if you're going to do something new, you have to establish it new. But we have to establish it according to this book and according to righteousness. Okay? That's the way it has to be established. It can't be established any other kind of way. Simple as that. Okay? But it's going to be called Yhwh, our righteousness, first. And then sometime in the future, when we get this brand new this brand new carless city built, it'll be called Yhwh is there. And how do we know that? Well, you go over to Ezekiel chapter 48, which tells you about all the measurements of the city and what's supposed to be happening, okay, in the city. Okay, at verse number 35. And it was round about 18,000 measures. Okay, it's giving you the dimensions of the city, right? And the name of the city from that day shall be called what? Yhwh is there. Okay? Yhwh is there. Once again, Yhwh is there. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? In the future. So this great and immaculate city right here that's going to have to be built, right? Now, you notice the temple is here and the city is here. They're not together. There's a reason for that. Okay? Because the city is more of a profane area, as with a temple and the temple grounds. This whole area right here is all holy. I'm talking about the holiest of holy. All right? All right. But the city itself, the last and final name change, Yhwh is there. Or what they will call Yah Shema. Yah Shema just means Yah is there. You know, they're going to say, hey, I want to go where God is, or go where God is there. That's what they're going to say. Yah is there. I want to go there. People in different lands, you know what I mean? They'll be visiting. We're going to go up to Yah is there. Okay? When they see this brand new city erected. Now, will it be a smart city? Parts of it could be. For all those who know what a smart city is. Okay? But it's certainly going to be carless. So we're going to need some of the best minds in the world working on this project. I mean, some of the best minds and the best thinkers, the best drafters, the best surveyors, the best blueprint makers. I mean, we're going to need all of that sort of a team to put this thing together. Okay? Because we're only going to do it just once. So we have to get it right. No differently from the temple. We'll have to have a whole different style of team to go in, and we'll look at that situation. Okay? So there's a lot of work to be done, and there's something for everybody to do. Okay? That Yah has called. Okay? To put this thing together for his holy name's sake. I'm talking about the temple. I'm talking about the brand new city. Okay? And many other things that's going to go on, you know, throughout history, okay? And we want to accomplish these things in our time. You know, we don't want to be like, you know, what they used to do in the biblical days, build something and not complete it. Or it's completed, you know, 20 years later, okay? When we begin these projects, we want to make sure it's funded correctly. We have the materials, we have the manpower, we have the plan. That's what's important, to spearhead this thing and take it forward and move it into the future. And also we want a city of the future. Okay? Definitely we want that. So like I said, it could be a smart city. All right? If you don't know what that is, then go on YouTube and look it up, and you'll find out what a smart city is and what that's all about. All right? So we're excited about these projects. We're excited about doing these projects. I hope that the global elite are excited about it. Okay? But it's the true children of Israel that has to spearhead these projects, okay? Because the Most High wouldn't let them touch it, okay? That's why there's no temple sitting on top of the Temple Mount today. You got all those idolatrous mosques sitting up there, right? Dome of the Rock and the Mosque of Omar and all that stuff. Al-Aqsa Mosque, all that stuff. And Dome of the Chain, everything on top of that Temple Mount, which will have to be eventually removed. Because Yah dwells alone by himself. Nothing dwells with him. No other kind of worship. Okay? Simple as that. All right? So very important events and things are going to happen in the future. I mean, I'm totally stoked and excited about doing this and working with you all to do these projects. I mean, that makes it all the better for me. Like I said, we're going to have a whole bunch of different professionals, from all walks of life, who we're going to choose to, on these teams to spearhead this thing and take us forward into the future. We're not going to, there's some things that we're going to, that'll be done from yesteryear, but most things we're going to move forward, in the future as we set up this city for God and the house of God, right? The third temple, right? Okay. But it has to be done correct. And we're going to use some of the best technologies we got. We want some of the best minds in the world to work on this thing. Okay. All right. That's what's going to make this thing so fun, to have all these great minds in one room. I'm talking about including the power elite, including the houses of Windsor, Rothschilds, on and on and on and on. Okay. And many other people too. Those are just the more popular ones that I bring up on, on these discourses. But it's going to be a great day for the future and a great day for, the children of the future who we're actually setting this thing up for, not just for ourselves, Like I said, you see the city called Yhwh is there. Okay. As you see right here. Okay. Tells you right there in verse number 35, right? All right. And the name of the city from that day should be called Yhwh is there. Well, that's what we're going to go set up. That's that carless future. Okay. And there's all kinds of means. I'm talking about transportation out here. If you guys just go start looking and doing some research. Okay. I'm talking about things you can carry in your hand that you can literally just sit on the ground, boom, take off on it. Okay. Some of you guys seen some of my older videos. There's all kinds of means of transportation other than, getting into a car, starting up horsepower, emitting, all that stuff that comes out of that tailpipe, into the atmosphere. The same, air that you got to breathe. Really, that takes a crazy person to do that. Why would you pollute the same air that you got to breathe in when our bodies are dependent upon oxygen? Okay? Carbon dioxide, right? Think about that for a minute. But anyway, these are the projects that we're looking at, and we're looking at them now. We don't have to wait till we get to the land to look at. We look at them right now. We plan right now. Okay? That's why I make these videos, to bring this information to you guys, to share it with you. I don't want to just leave it inside my head. I want you guys to be able to realize and be able to start putting this dream in your head, okay? All right? But it's a dream of reality, not just a dream, because it's going to happen. It's already predicted that this is going to happen. That's why it's written in this book on these pages. See what I'm saying? It's going to happen. All right? That's why I wanted to show you guys about that. But a carless city. All right? So we're going to be using all kind of other means of transportation, all kind of other means of power. Solar power. It could be anything in general. Okay? Electric power. All the little things that you guys have seen even here lately. We're going to be using all of those technologies. Wind power, you name it. Okay? So we're going to have a very, I would say, clean and green future. And a very clean and green city right here. Okay? Because we'll be able to do it all from scratch. So we can do it right. All right? And Jerusalem needs a makeover, because Jerusalem is probably one of the oldest cities in the world. And they have not made any improvement to it. It just looks that old. Now, Tel Aviv looks wonderful. Haifa looks great. On and on and on and on. Beersheba, those cities, they look great. But Jerusalem needs some serious dollars put into it. Okay? But like I said, when we get there, we're going to change that name. That capital name's not going to be Jerusalem anymore. And when we change that name, that's when the future begins. It's going to be called Yhwh, our righteousness. After the movement of people coming out from the United States, the Jerusalem movement. Okay? And even the governor, Jeremiah 23, they're going to call him the same thing. Yhwh, our righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So very interesting. Okay? Very interesting future. Very interesting times that we're living in. All right? So for those who are still kind of sitting at home due to your quarantine, go look these things up. And I hope you're getting as excited as I am about doing these things. I look forward to working with every single one of you. Thank you all for listening. Remember these things. The carless future. The carless city. Yhwh, our righteousness. And then, when it's completed, Yhwh is there. And naturally, the third temple. All right? Thank you all for listening. Peace.